Good. Yes, now we're officially live and that. So what you were saying, like with like the ages. So the gyms I've worked in gyms and I've also worked in like after school kind of sports activities in like secondary schools and also like
Okay.
primary schools.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sometimes like the demographic of the ages I train them can be from anywhere from like maybe 16-year-olds to possibly as far as maybe like mid 30-year-olds. So it's always different ranges.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
interesting, bro. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Man, so tell me a bit about like so you've been in YouTube right now, like what was it, 5 years you told me?
5 years, you
Five
know,
years,
it,
bro.
it was it was just funny because like this 5 years ago back then like YouTube was just like it wasn't like as a big sensation now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Before you could just put like, funny videos, before TikTok came. You get what I mean? So I saw certain YouTubers became like some big kind of superstars. You get what I mean? Like they crossed over from YouTube to mainstream. You
For
know what I
sure.
mean? Yeah, so I saw that. I was like, okay, if I start this, I just want to put stuff like I love, like I love comic books, I love gaming, I love like 90s cultures, I love movies, I love, women, but isn't it? So I just wanted to kind of put that all in one and express like my personality, Emil, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure, bro. For
Mhm.
sure. I've seen like you've been posting. I mean, like you've been
Yeah.
consistent on the game, and
Mhm.
that's why I was able to reach out to you and see like because I generally see that you're just yourself. You're being
Yes.
yourself, and that's
Yes.
that's something that creates a connection. So because you can even though it's through a screen, you see someone, you can feel
Mhm.
100%. And I think watching your videos, I was able to feel that, bro. Like literally, you were just being genuine. You talking about things that has happened or just things that you love. So it's like.
I really thank you for saying that, Will. Like, because when I started, like a lot of the videos I watched, because I did my research, and a lot of the ones who were making like a lot of views and a lot of like, mad subscribers were these kind of prank videos.
Yeah,
So like, them guys making like them social experiments, like when they
yeah,
talk to girls or they do gold digger pranks, and I was like, I didn't want to do that because I felt like it's not genuine and it's not me. You know what I
100%.
mean? So it's like I wanted to kind of just be like more kind of authentic, as you can see. And you've been able to kind of touch that, like, okay, this guy he's jokey, but he's not playing like a character. He's showing different ways and
100%.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. And like now that because you've been in YouTube probably longer than me, I mean,
Mm.
what are your strategies in terms of like making it a full-time thing? Yeah, and at a certain point, like, have you done like research into how to start monetizing it or shit like that? Or
Yeah, because with the so like with like the monetization, like I only started getting monetized 2 years ago,
okay,
in 2018. You know what I mean? And it was difficult because I was always watching other people's at the start. I was really watching other people's videos, and it's like I was just trying to stay like more like kind of across the curve, stay unique and
right,
distinct. So I would look at some people's videos and I would say like, okay, I have to kind of stay in my lane and do my own thing.
right,
So I did. I always like it before, like if you go scroll down my videos, I have like it's my 2020 like notepad.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And so like, I always kind of like spitball ideas. I quickly write it down.
right,
Yeah, just sketch it off. I think, oh yeah, like, this sounds crazy, but it
yeah,
may work. So it's like I quickly jot it down, and like I used to do like a lot of sketching and drawing. So sometimes I'll write it down and I'll also kind of sketch like the idea of like, how much time, the location of the video,
right.
what we need in that. Mhm.
Like kind of like visualizing already what you're gonna make, right?
Exactly.
Dude, that's dope, bro. That's dope.
Yeah,
Because in terms of like, let's say my YouTube, I've been on and
yeah,
off. Definitely, I gotta be honest. Like, I haven't been that consistent as I would like to. And
yeah, yeah,
but it's a big passion of mine because I truly love filming. I truly love being able to share, and I also have like
yeah.
I want to be able to create content with a message behind, right? So
Yes.
basically what I was thinking about, like, because I wanted, like, basically last week I got like a realization where I was like, dude, I gotta like get back to it. I really
Yeah.
wanna get started again. And so
Hmm.
I came out with this idea, and it's called like the 30-day project, where during 30 days I kind of do something uncomfortable every day, and then
Yeah.
uh, yeah, kind of like something that I haven't done, or something that I fear, or something that
Hmm.
kind of like puts me outside my comfort zone, right?
Comfort zone. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that's honestly from what I've learned. Not even, and this just doesn't even apply to YouTube. It applies to like walks in life.
Yeah,
The only way you grow in this life is like from, falling down and then picking yourself up by putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. It's the only way your mind and body is going to learn how to adapt for next time. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And that's what really hinders like a lot of people's growth, in just everything. They'll sometimes want to, like, for instance, like I've always wanted to do, like, I used to be really scared on like doing public speaking, like really speaking.
for
I
sure,
used to be terrified,
for sure, bro.
I
I
used to
can
get
imagine.
shiver and nervous, you know what I mean? And it was only when I started doing personal training and started doing group workouts that I was kind of just pushed into it. You know what I mean? So I had to already develop this confidence, because it was no way like I can be like, oh, I'm gonna run and I can't teach this class. No, I have to be there, and it's like I've got like a duty to be this kind of like figure. So just doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it again just builds up your self-esteem. You know what I mean? Mm,
100%. No, like,
mm,
I totally agree, man. I totally agree, and I think, like, as you said, a lot of people are missing out so much because they're not putting themselves out there to reach their maximal potential, and they're limiting themselves to what everyone else does, and following the crowd, and being part of the group, and wanting to be the cool one, and it's
yeah.
just like, dude, we gotta like really think outside the box, be able to you open our wings and fucking have faith and jump and believe in ourselves.
Yeah. It's the way, I had that issue, because like when I was in when I was in like secondary school, high school, I was like the nerdiest guy. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Yeah, I didn't get go along with the the cool kids,
Right.
I didn't get like proper like girls and that. It's like I
Right.
was completely a total outcast. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So it was only when like I came out and it's like started to like go into like the YouTube world, started to go into fitness world. It's like I could be able to express a bit more myself, you know what I mean? And that's where like that kind of lost confidence, which was always there. I was able to kind of use that, as like a symbol, you know what I mean?
Wow, bro, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like, and I think honestly, like, that's some piece of content that I don't know if you've shared about, but I think it's great that perhaps, like, I can imagine there's a lot of nerds out there that are feeling insecure and don't know what to do, bro. And you that been through that journey they can be looking up to you because you've
Yeah.
developed in such way of, like, now you're personal trainer. You're confident
Yeah.
speaking out there. You created something out of yourself. And in school back then, you were like a tall nerd, like,
Yeah.
oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was big. It's funny because like, when you're in those kind of positions, like in school, it's like everything went against me. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? It's like I had no one who was there to like back me. You know what
right,
I
right,
mean?
right.
That's why it's like it's to be in this kind of position where things are more like, it's like I've got more control in my
Right.
destiny. Sometimes it's like I'm living like a different, like a Twilight realm. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy.
Well, dude,
Yeah,
if-
nice.
what is fascinating about your story and you, bro, is that you're able to see it from like a positive way and seeing that life really works with you and it's not against you, or like, that you're going forward and not being stuck in that like fear, like, hey, I was no one, didn't have friends, and etc. And
Yeah.
that's super powerful, man. That's such a
Oh,
powerful tool that you have, man.
yeah. No, I really appreciate, because I'm not gonna lie, there was times like I really started to kind of doubt myself. You know what I mean? Because it's like when you're not really with that crowd, the cool kids, the ones that went to prom, the ones that, get their car like, by the way, like 16, 17, when you're not with them, you sometimes think like there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? Like, why is this happening to me? And there was times I used to go through that period of just like, I could be playing my PlayStation and I'd be like, should I be doing this? Is this like the sensible thing? I should be having a girlfriend. All of those things used to go through my head, but it was just later, after, really getting out, into the sunshine, I was able to kind of just change it. I was like, no, God made me this way. I need to just be true to who I am and not play like a character like what people want me to be. And like I said, it took time, but honestly, every day I wake up now, it's like I know I can, as you said, I can inspire others, because it's not just me. I know there's a lot of people in that same situation who love, anime, manga, comic books, gaming, and they just didn't get that kind of like love, when they were in like school. But there is like brighter tomorrow out there.
100%, bro. That is I love to hear this. I love to hear this, bro, because you know, like like, yeah, man, I can, it's super powerful. I love to see like where you're coming from, man, and where you're at now. And imagine the future, right? Like, who knows, right?
Yeah.
And bro, so you would say like things that were able to push you forward? Was it YouTube mainly? Was it perhaps you reading a book? What were the tools that really like propelled you to the next level?
Right. So like early on, like, my I was really like big onto comics, like
Okay,
big onto comics, big Batman fan,
wow,
and oh, he's my favorite superhero, this thing. So
yeah,
like I was always, the message I always got from the character of Batman was, if you want something, you gotta do it. That kind of do it yourself attitude.
right,
What I mean? So I always took that with me to every kind of venture, I was doing, whether it be YouTube, personal training, public speaking. I always did it like, I always used that kind of like, message of like, do yourself, like having that just do it attitude. I always use that to sometimes just like overcome like, anxiety, of doing like these things for the first time. I mean, I remember like even like this time last year, I went to Florida, for the first time. That was before I went there. I was here saying my best, like I'm never gonna get there. I started to kind of like think, I was like, I'm never gonna get there. Then I remember sitting on that flight and coming down and landing on MIA International Airport, and I just breathing the atmosphere, and I was like, I did it. And it was like from those kind of that do it yourself attitude. And another thing that always helped is like, people who kind of always want to kind of tell you like, no, you can't do this, you're crazy, you're insane, you can't do this, what I mean?
yeah,
Those kind of people, it's actually good they're there, because they actually fuel like my drive to even more do it, more to kind of conquer like what some people think is unconquerable, like they
right,
could say like, well, this mountain's too tall to climb. And I'll be like, okay, sit there, watch me. I'm gonna try climbing.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's how I feel like,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool, bro.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it that it all started with that Batman mentality, like that's amazing. And I don't believe that, like, that life, all there's so much inspiration out there, but when you're able to observe and get inspired by something that you love, and then catch the message and then use it yourself and understanding yourself, you're able to achieve so much. As you said, people call me as well, like I've been called crazy, insane, but this
Yeah.
word fuel me. Like when I'm called crazy, I'm like, fuck yeah, man, give me more. I
What
love
do
it.
people?
I'm fucking crazy, man. Like
Yeah.
seriously, you know.
So you'll find out the higher you go up and the more successful you get. It's like you have to kind of think in a way that the normal kind of civilization don't.
Yeah,
Because I mean you'll find it like even some of my friends, it's like it's a very like standard kind of way of their thinking process, but like as you can see, and I can even get the vibe from you, you're not kind of like fearful of failure. You want that kind of challenge, so you need to kind of be a bit crazy, not in a bad sense, but crazy to be like, I will take this risk to get the reward, you know.
exactly, exactly. As it says, man, it's like, you know, there's probably like 1% of the population that are risk takers, and that 1% is like the most, probably the ones that are wealthiest, that are enjoying life the most, are making most of life. And so I totally agree with you when it comes down to like you start to because you have the feeling of like, okay, I want to change my dreams no matter what. That becomes a priority, and then you start developing a thought process to that. And definitely, man, as you go in the journey, that thought process becomes super different to the average. And sometimes I totally agree, it's so hard to explain it to them because
Yeah.
they don't understand. And
Hmm.
you make like all these explanations or perhaps excuses, and they're like, dude, you're like fucking crazy. But I guess like, you just gotta fucking go. And I think as you carry this and as you create this vibration and this feeling, you're able to attract people with the like-minded, right? So people.
One 100%, I've seen this like in the like the last like decade or so, going on this kind of journey. The amount of like-minded people is started to attract, what I mean, is being crazy. Like some people will be like, oh, they want to do. I had one of my good friends, he wanted to like go to Australia, just wanted to go there and start a new life. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. I said I want to go to like, America or Canada, you know what I mean? So it was that bond that we already had, and he didn't have to say too much. I was like, I got you. I know about achieving your dreams. I know that not everyone's gonna be on the same wavelength, but I can already feel that kind of essence and that desire to, go for that goal. So it's really cool when you can see, and I'll notice as well, I'll see people is very diverse. What I mean, I've met like so many different people, not even just through YouTube, but like from different various parts of the world. What I mean, who've like been on my journeys, and they told me like they overcame this situation to get to here. They overcame this, these obstacles that were laid in front of them. They told me like what they used to get over, that fence or that brick wall, and it always inspires me when I learn, what people's challenges were, and what they did to kind of pass it. So
Yeah,
it's tremendous.
it is super inspiring, bro. It's super inspiring, bro. And so, like, I got a question to you because you feel like so passionate about, and I can see like you're not afraid to dream big. So, like, what would be like your, I mean, like your big passion or goal that you're chasing? Like, that one thing.
Like I was like, I again, like, they say like with pipe dreams, like I was always a big fan of just like an overall like entertainer, like someone like, when I mean like entertainer now is so lost,
Yeah.
in like, the way society is now, because everyone thinks they're an entertainer, you know what I mean? Like through just social media, they can make a video and show it to me and they think it, or it could go viral. They think there's some superstar, but I was always attracted to like, like the Michael Jacksons, Prince, just like, and even like comedians like Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle. I always loved watching them on TV and like seeing their talent and just watching their skill, that it would be able that someone like me could be so glued to them that you would want to watch them. You would even pay money to see them. So I always wanted to be that kind of person, like someone who would like actually have like someone would actually put a show around me and they would pay money to kind of see a show, with me and that. So yeah, I've always had that kind of ambition to be like an entertainer or some
Yeah,
sort. Yeah.
bro, keep it up, bro.
Yeah.
I totally believe that. Honestly, like talking about that, that makes me like so happy because
Yeah.
imagine you hitting that level. Uh,
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy, as you were talking, as these big entertainers that are getting
Yeah.
for
Mm-hmm.
started as s- so-called nerding school. Imagine how you could sell your story. I mean,
Yeah.
even through books or movies, bro. Like from
Mm.
nerd to worldwide entertainer. I mean, that would be huge, man. And I totally support you, bro. Like
Yeah, thanks.
surround yourself with people that have the results that you want and learn
Mhm.
as much as possible about them, man.
Exactly. No, I do I do my research like on a lot, like even in when I was in college, I was studying like media,
Okay.
so and it was like, and also like the arts, so I was a big following of like music, and entertainment, television and mediums, so I was always kind of just like, oh man, imagine if one day I was on the stage or something, it'd be a complete stark contrast to where I was in high school or something. The other thing I want to mention is what I've always loved with like especially with the like with how the world is like even now today, entertainment in general, whether it be comedy, whether it be music, whether it be drama, and that is such an important thing that us humans need in everyday life, because everyone, I'm pretty sure you and me, you go through stressful times. I've been through stressful times. You know, isn't it sometimes good when you can come from a stressful day and just turn on Netflix and just chill?
100%, bro. And I think,
Yeah.
it, yeah, I totally agree with you. And like, for example, I think like one thing that has been able to like, push me through hard times, even bad days or whatever, is to be able to see humor in things. And
Exactly.
it doesn't need to be that, okay, you go to like a circus and go laugh or something. But if you're able to use like, perhaps the other day I saw this guy and he looked like a movie character from Spain, like he was just like in a truck driving with a cigar. He was like,
Yeah.
I was having a regular day, but I saw that and I was just like, this is a movie character. And it
Yeah.
started laughing my ass. And
Yeah.
because you're able to use that, it just makes you so much better. And laughing, man, is the best feeling, man.
Oh, laughing is the cure to like a lot of people, you know what I mean? One thing I'll get, it's a weird thing because I used to there was a time I was stuck in like the retail circuit, so I used to work in like Zara, I
Okay.
used to work in Mango, and they would always ask me like, oh, like customers and even staff, they would ask me, oh, why are you always smiling? Why are you always happy? I mean, like, what's wrong with you and that? And I would be like,
Yeah.
I'm having a good time, man. I'm not taking myself too seriously. I swear. Yeah,
Dude, but that's why you're awesome, bro. Like,
yeah. I'm telling you.
but it's so true, man. Like honestly, I gotta share the same feeling with
Yeah.
you. It's like I generally think I'm a positive guy. I'm not saying this to show up, but
No,
generally
I see.
I'm a positive guy, and I used to before like all this social media consultancy that I do now is to work as a barista. And
Okay.
it was quite stressful. It was in the airport, so and it was in Germany. I lived in Germany.
Okay.
So
Berlin. Was it in Berlin? Berlin?
yeah,
All right. Guten Tag.
worked in the airport there because I could speak English but not German, so it was perfect.
Right.
And my manager and everyone, they would get so stressed. Like, they would be like, "Oh, cafe latte, cafe cappuccino."
Yeah.
And I would be just like, I put some like Tupac or Biggie, and start like dancing, and they would ask like, "What is wrong with you? Like, why are you always smiling?" Dude, like you said, why are you taking it so serious?
Seriously. You
Like,
know.
yeah, like the other day I came across a thought. I was like, dude, the problems that we had 1 year ago that were stressing the fuck out of us. If you think
Yeah.
about them now, do you even remember? No. So what makes such a big deal, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm telling you again. It goes back to just that kind of again the civilization like mindset. Like they will make big deals of like a mole. Is it a molehill out of a mountain? Like
yeah,
something that doesn't mean anything. I used to have like supervisors who used to really destroy me. When I was in Mango, the retail store, and they used to say, "Oh, you need to be here. You need to be smiling at customers. You need to get this sale and that." And they used to hate me because I wasn't so much like, "Oh, I've got to, sell it to this person." If they didn't get the item, I was like, "It's cool. That's up to you."
yeah,
But I was always kind of they inside there. They were always stressed about how much money they could generate in that retail branch. You know what I mean? And the stress from the top used to sieve all the way down to the employees. So, there's one employees. So there was days used to come in and it just used to be like, okay, Richard, where do you need to be? Oh, Richard, your break. You should have been back 5 minutes ago.
yeah,
If I one time got similar, I got caught playing music like Jay-Z and that, and they just quickly they put me in the room and start talking to me and that. You can't do this, be professional and that. And I'm like, what I mean? But it's as you said, like, as how this year is shown, it's like, you just have to find the humor in some things, you know what I mean? Yeah, don't take yourself too seriously for, one chance on this planet, and you're gonna be like aggravated on any kind of like scenario. I just don't think it's
yeah.
not you never find peace if you're like that.
Yeah, and it's like it's not healthy if we live that way. I mean, I also saw this woman, she was watching like just comedy, and I guess it said like where I read it, it through laughing so much generates so good positive feeling, hormones and everything. And I do believe in like how you feel is a really powerful thing in terms of like relationships, health, whatever you achieve. And so like this woman got cured of cancer through comedy. And you really see that, okay, like if you have the choice to not to you can control how you feel by your perspective on things, right? And so if you have that control to do that, why aren't we using it to advantage? People like to play the victim a lot. They like to
Yes.
victimize. This happened to me. It's only me. I'm the worst. This it's always me. And I'm like, dude, change your perspective and start living life because it's beautiful. You know?
Yeah, no, it's actually yeah, it's no truer words have what you just said about like being the victim. You know what I mean? Like I won't go into like too much detail, but like
Right,
this time 3 years ago I was with like a woman,
right,
and like yeah, like I was like deeply like in love with her, it's like possibly like gonna get married and that, and
wow,
in like one fell swoop everything just went. You know
right,
what I mean? She was gone. She found someone else. It was gone and that. And there was a period after it, I was playing that victim. You know what
right,
I mean? And that was
right.
the first time I was in love before. So I was like, oh, why is this happening? Why would someone help me? You know what I mean? And Yeah, it's tough, and it was after that, like I came from that that relationship. It's like I just saw like the life in a different way. You know what I mean? I was like, man, this had to have happened for a reason for me to get to this position. So I stopped being like that victimized problem. I stopped like complaining about like what's this, I mean, like why is this going on? I said rather than complain, I would rather try find ways to find a solution. Even if I fall down, 100 or 150 times, I will not quit to find a way to get to there, and I think that can only happen from like falling into like the abyss, I mean, like falling into the lowest point, what I mean? That's you have to if it's like if you fall down a well, have you seen like the Batman film, The Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's
Exactly.
that. It legit is that, Emil. You have to fall all the way down, see the line, take your time and climb back up, and that's what I had to do, So I stopped playing the victim, stopped complaining, just onward and forward, you know.
That's amazing, bro. So inspiring, man. And it's true, man. You see, these moments for me, they're blessings, right? Because without them, we wouldn't be like the man we are today. Like without those things happening to us,
Mm-hmm.
who would we be, man? We wouldn't have this mindset. We wouldn't be open to, these kind of conversations. And it's amazing because we can
Exactly.
look back and share back. So that was fucking amazing for sharing. Thank you for sharing that with
Oh
me.
yeah. Because I remember when I was doing my channel, I tried not to be like too like I was kind of shy on being too like personal. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I shouldn't expose too much about myself. But then again, I was like, someone if they hear what like I've gone through, again, it can help someone who's thinking again it's the end of the world. They can probably look here and say like, wow, this guy went through it. He's smiling, he's positive, he's still moving forward. I can make a change, so it's
Exactly.
just important. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, man. And I think like it builds a stronger connection with your audience. And if you're
Yeah.
able to help people at the end, man, I guess that's the most powerful thing because that's
Yeah.
how you really can create a community, following, and etc. Build that connections and inspire others as you achieve, right? So that's amazing. Hey, brother, I gotta go and take another call,
All
but
right.
man, I want to thank you so much for your
Oh no, much
serious.
pleasure, Emil. Honestly, we have to definitely do this again because I feel such a great mood. Like
Man, like I'm like feeling so good right now. This
yeah.
man,
Same, honestly, even though we're in different places in the world, we're still like,
yeah,
lit. You
right? You feel the energy.
yeah. It makes me feel warm, so
I
100%
swear,
good.
bro. But let's do it again, man. I'm so
Yeah,
glad we were able to like set up a time and call
yeah,
and get to know each other a bit about our
yes.
story and our journey. And dude, I'm so grateful to meet you. Seriously, bro. Thank you so
Mm-hmm. Oh no, appreciate it, man. That's it.
much.
That's it. Stuff like that.
That's amazing. That's amazing, bro. So
That's
how
it.
do I end this? I
Yeah.
leave this video. Okay.
Okay, I can. Yeah, I got the power button and that. So yes. So yeah, guys, man. Thanks for watching, and I will. You'll see. You'll
Let's
see him. And yes, I follow him. Follow him on Instagram. The Shaka Tribe as well.
go.
And yeah, definitely, we'll try and do this when we're both free. We'll try jump on another video like this. Yeah.
Where we could collaborate and who
Yeah.
knows? Right? Who knows, bro?
That's where it's going. Maybe a season on Netflix for the both of us. Yeah. That
Oh well, let me film now because
yeah.
maybe in the future I can show you like, hey man, this is
Yeah.
where the song started. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, get that on, man. Yo, this is gonna put
Yo,
that on.
how are you doing, brother? Live here.
Doing
What's
good, man. We're bringing the love, the only way Richie Rich can, man. And I'm with my man, Emil. We're about to blow up, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ondele, ondele.
Amazing, 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 bro. I bro, have an amazing day. Bye bye.
You too. Adios. Bye.